Hello, YouTube and Twitch. Welcome back to the Blind Press channels. I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday evening. And boy, oh boy, have we got a shit ton to go through. I might not even get to combat tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. We've got I don't even know how many tabs up. So I think it's like 13 tabs. Something crazy like that. It's insane the amount of tabs I have open tonight. And
at the start of the match.
Of course,
it's all crazy shit.
Yeah, welcome back, Doc.
We've even got some cop videos to look at. So, I hope you're ready for the shenanigans that are about to happen. And if you're on Twitch, I hope you're ready to use your points and make me exercise. Holy fuck, Twitch is being a dick. Huh. Well, that's stupid. Hello, Spittlebuggies. Hope you're doing well. I'm sorry Twitch is being a dick. Very sorry Twitch is being a dick. So, yeah, I don't really know what to do for a cold open. I've been working on my other project that I'm not going to mention anything about other than I've been working on my other project. So I've been trying to not I've been doing too much of that and not doing any other content. So that's been a problem. Do 10 side raises? Well, alright then. I shall do 10 side raises. Right now, in fact, even. Ugh. Let's do 10 side raises right now, in fact, even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew! I was holding those ones. That was hard. Alrighty. Oh. What's with all the Twitter stuff? Apparently I'm gonna watch here, thanks Twitch. That's funny. Well, as long as you're here, Spittlebuggies, that's all that counts. As long as you're here. Alright, where should we start with our videos? Like I said, we have a lot. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna save that one for the end. Let's start with this one. What everyone is getting wrong about the trans Olympic athlete. So let's start with this, and then we'll move along from there. See where it takes us. Oh, that's the scene I want. I want live scene, not solo cam. I was already on solo cam. Okay, let's see.
With the whole world watching, we have just witnessed a biological woman, also known as just a woman, in a fight with a boxer who was not allowed to compete against women last year because it's a man. To a weak-kneed International Olympic Committee that allowed this to happen. Listen to how the IOC explained its decision just a few days ago.
Are women in their passports, and it's stated that is the case, that they are female. They're competing in the women's category. Again, I don't want to mention their names or whatever, but these athletes have competed many times before for many years.
And we're also...
So wait, let's back that up a minute, because they kind of... You can tell that they clipped him in the middle of a sentence, at both ends. So that kind of feels disingenuous to me. Let's hear it again.
Go.
Are women in their passports, and it's stated that is the case, that they are female. They're competing in the women's category. Again, I don't want to mention their names or whatever, but these athletes have competed many times before for many years.
And were also banned, which you now refuse to acknowledge as you let them play in the Olympics. It remains to be seen how NBC News, the broadcast network of the Games here in America, will cover this here at home, since they are as woke and pro-trans, quote, rights as humanly possible.
Now, if you're looking at this from this standpoint, it looks really, really bad. It looks, they aren't transitioned, they're hermaphroditic. That's exactly it. That if this were the way that it was, right? If this were the case, the way that it was being laid out in the way that this person is saying, then we should be outraged, right? But this is not what it is. And I wonder what Nate's gonna say about it.
Now, who on planet Earth think this was fair? No. Who think it's fair for a man to beat up a woman like this?
This male boxer destroyed a female boxer in 46 seconds, and the world was set on fire. But I'm going to tell you why I think the outrage may be wrong. This is Iman Khalif, born as a woman in Algeria.
So she's Algerian, okay? Now, they're big to begin with, right? Like, everybody over there, they're large. Hello. Is the screen not shared?
No, you're fine. Just regarding this,
Yeah?
I'm glad China's dead now.
What do you... Oh, yeah.
Because, the ninth wonder of the world.
They would be considered... She would be considered...
She would be in the same boat.
Yeah.
But same with the giant MMA fighter. What's her face? Fuck, the big chick. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. Cyborg. Chris Cyborg would be considered a man. Because she looks like a man.
I went to school with a Sudanese girl.
Yeah.
Who was freaking huge.
Yeah.
Like, she was 12, but she was, like, your size.
I know a bunch of chicks that are, like, Amazonian.
Yeah. This chick would have been Amazon. She was your size. Built like you and everything.
I know.
At 12, it was crazy.
But that's the problem is now this is that line I said was going to come up eventually.
Yep.
Which is where's the line, and this is what I mean. This is where, because if you look at it, it's a witch hunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's another witch hunt. That's all it is. It's a freaking witch hunt. Ooh. All right, I'm going back up.
Algeria doesn't play the gender game.
No.
For example,
No,
some
they do
countries
not.
allow you to place whatever sex you identify with on your passport. But in Algeria, they don't play that game.
No.
Your passport reflects the sex you were born with.
Algeria does not go, oh, do you feel like a man when you're, oh, okay, that's fine, honey. No, Algeria doesn't do that.
Birth. Full stop. No questions asked.
Nope.
Matter of fact, it's illegal to be trans in Algeria since 1966. It carries a 3-year prison sentence. So if
God.
Khalif was trans, she would be doing a 3-year stint in jail and not representing Algeria in the Olympics. So what's going on here? Well, Khalif was born with a vagina and all female sex organs.
Okay.
I think I need to say that again. Khalif was born with a vagina and all female sex organs.
Which means she is a woman. Okay? By every definition of the word, Khalif, or Aman Khalif, is a woman. Alright? She has a vagina, a uterus, ovaries, all of it.
And she has lived as a woman her whole life. Now, you would think Khalif has XX chromosomes to match, but you would be wrong. Khalif actually has XY chromosomes, meaning that Khalif is biologically a man born with female sex organs.
She's she's a hermaphrodite, or I think there's a couple of different types of this. There's Turner syndrome. I know about that one. I'm not sure which other ones there are.
How is this possible? Well, let me explain. Now, on this channel, I've said many times that biological men should not compete with biological women in sports because men have an unfair advantage. My most viewed video is on how a trans woman / biological male won the women's weightlifting contest in Canada.
Yeah.
And because the rules allowed them to compete based on how they felt that day. So if they came in feeling like a woman, they could participate as a woman.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay at all. But that's not what was happening here.
So a biological male then played the same game and claimed to be a woman just for that event. He broke all the women's records, specifically all the trans women's records, and then went away. Now, and when asked, he said he is gender non-conforming.
Yeah. I'm gender non-conforming. I'm sometimes a guy and sometimes a girl.
This is the way the world is now. My 8-year-old daughter told me all about it.
So a guy can become a girl with no physical changes at all.
My 8-year-old daughter told me about it.
So I can be a woman on the court and a man in the bedroom. I can't believe it. Nice!
You mean when you're sleeping?
Yes.
This also happened with Leah Thomas.
Please tell me that was a meme. Please tell me that was a meme. Because, oh my god.
This man who decided to identify as a woman and broke the NCAA women's record in the swimming pool.
University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thomas taking first place in the NCAA 500-yard freestyle. She is the first transgender athlete to be crowned NCAA champion, but not without controversy because critics say she has an unfair physical advantage over the other swimmers and should not have been allowed to compete. Now, second place went to University of Virginia swimmer Emma Wyant, who won a silver medal in last year's Tokyo Olympics.
Now, she should have, like, the fact that she was a Tokyo Olympic medalist and she still got beaten by Leah Thomas, that tells you something about the biological difference between men and women. I'm sorry, it should just speak volumes.
She's getting an outpouring of support on social media, with some calling her the true winner. And we saw Lauren at that medal ceremony. The crowd was virtually silent when Leah Thomas was announced the winner, the first place winner, and yet they went crazy cheering for the second place.
Because she had no business being there. Like, literally no business being in that freaking category. At all. There should be a transgendered category. If, like, either compete in the category of your biological, but your biological gender, or they should create a trans category.
Now with Leah, she was ranked 65th on the men's team, and then woke up one day, decided to join the women's team, and now was ranked number 1 in the country. This is totally unfair. Now you may say, why is that? Well, we segregate or separate men from women in sports because we know men have an undeniable physical advantage over women when it comes to sports.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, if you, like, there's no contest. I'm sorry. There are some women that can maybe hold their own for a bit, but overall, in general, there is no contest.
Especially at the... Now, you always use the example of FloJo. She set the 100-meter world record in 1986 in track and field. Her record has stood for almost 40 years. No woman has even come close to touching her record. But her time is beaten every year by high school boys. School boys.
Christ! That's insane! Not one woman has come close to beating that record in 40 years, but yearly high school boys beat it?
The fastest woman ever to do it in the 100-meter track and field event would not be able to beat teenage boys at a high school track meet. Now, insane. I know some people will not like to hear this truth, but God will set you free because it is the absolute truth, the reality of the situation. Now, we get to what makes this situation with Khalif complicated. See, in the other examples like Leah Thompson, she was born a man. She went through male puberty. Yes. She competed as a man.
Yes. All of these things are true of Leah. None of these things are true of Iman Khalif.
Now, before puberty, boys and girls are about equal when it comes to physical ability. There's almost no physical difference in strength, endurance, or speed between the sexes.
Yeah.
But after puberty, men get a huge advantage because of testosterone. Men with XY chromosomes begin producing large amounts of testosterone, which is responsible for increased muscle growth and all these physical advantages.
Bone density, muscle growth, height, aggression.
Now, women, on the other hand, who have XX chromosomes produce a large amount of estrogen that does not give them these same physical advantages. Now, because of this, the governing body of sports banned any person who went through male puberty, remember specifically male puberty.
What are we reacting to? Just came across this stream in my feed. Oh, we've got a bunch of videos, Oryx. Right now, we're looking at Nate the lawyer and his take on people saying that Iman Khalif is a trans boxer and that she's taking away from women's boxing.
Puberty from competing in women's sports. Here's what they had to say.
This morning, the international governing body over track and field announcing a ban that prevents transgender athletes from participating in female events after going through male puberty.
World Athletics has done something that loads of people have been calling for them to do for a very long time. It's ban trans women from being able to compete in female categories. Lord Coe, who's the governing body's president, said no transgender athlete who had gone through male puberty should be allowed in female world ranking competitions.
And that's absolutely correct, because they have a complete unfair advantage. Like, everybody with any semblance of common sense knows that. I mean, I feel like I'm stating the obvious here, but I guess I guess not. Oh, I missed the 10 squats. Let me do that while we're doing a pause break. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. All right. Back to the live stream. And back to our video.
Transgender athletes will now be banned from competing in female track and field events at an elite level. The move by World Athletics comes months after the International Swimming Authority made a similar ruling.
Now remember, the rule prevents people who went through male puberty from competing in female sports,
right,
because that's when you get the advantages.
So if you, so if you like took puberty blockers or whatever and you transitioned that way, you could still compete.
So what does this have to do with Imani Khalif? Well, Khalif was born with a vagina, ovaries, eggs, and all female reproductive parts. But she has XY chromosomes. I know, this is confusing at first glance, but please bear with me. There is a condition that occurs where some people are born with XY chromosomes but produce very little to almost no testosterone. Sometimes even less than women with XX chromosomes.
Yes, this is true. I think Turner syndrome is one of those syndromes.
This is called Swyer syndrome.
Swyer syndrome.
I was shocked to find out.
Swyer syndrome is different than Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome is you don't grow very much either. It affects your height. It affects, like, I think you're gonna have some boy parts and some girl parts.
X chromosomes. This is called Swyer syndrome.
I was shocked to find out that there was actually a diagnosis. I found out I had Swyer syndrome.
A patient with Swyer syndrome has 46 XY, so normal male chromosomes. But because the testes never developed, they never develop into a male.
Okay. So, I love the weird, scary, like, evil music that they're choosing to use with that. I don't understand. That's kind of, that's kind of weird, but alright then.
I really became angry because I could not fathom why the doctors would not tell me. It just made me feel very violated. This was like major life-changing information. I know I'm a woman, but how could I possibly be born with male chromosomes?
Now, this is when a person with XY chromosomes develops as a female with all the female parts and traits, including sex organs. This is because the gene that produces male traits, testosterone, is suppressed, causing people with XY chromosomes to develop naturally as females. Now,
So that's interesting. That's gotta be very confusing for the people that develop that way, because they look like... Of course I can, sweetheart. Just a moment, guys. Let me mute. Somebody, my little guy had to, well, he's not little anymore, but he had to say goodnight.
Now, some TV dramas like the show House have done episodes about this condition.
Yep.
We found a tumor.
Oh, yeah!
Technically, no.
This chick.
So it's not cancer? No, it's cancer. But he has cancer. On his left testicle.
I remember this. It's the one where she seduced her father, right? He.
I don't have testicles.
She's not a guy. His DNA says you're wrong. Frogs and snails and puppy dog tails. You've got male pseudo-hermaphroditism. See, we all start out as girls, and then we're differentiated based on our genes.
Okay, I really like how the classical music works with this.
Ovaries develop into testes and drop. But in about 1 in 150,000 pregnancies, a fetus with an XY chromosome, a boy, develops into something else. Like you. Your testes never descended because you're immune to testosterone. You're pure estrogen, which is why you get heightened female characteristics, like clear skin, great breasts. The ultimate woman is a man.
Isn't that interesting? How House says that, what was it, 15 years ago? And now look what's happening.
So even though Khalif has XY chromosomes, she didn't go through male puberty and has all the internal organs as a woman. She didn't transition from male to female. She was born with female sex organs. So when the governing body of boxing began testing for chromosomes, they found that Imani Khalif had XY chromosomes and banned her. Now, this was overturned because having XY chromosomes didn't mean that a person had an unfair advantage over women.
That is true. They can prove that by testing the testosterone levels, I'm fairly certain. So why, like, I feel like it was a good thing that they unbanned her. I think that people are witch hunting this poor person.
Matter of fact, Khalif has actually lost 9 fights to other women. So when Khalif won her match at the Olympics, people found out that she had an XY chromosome, and they assumed she went through male puberty and had all the physical advantages over an XX female. But
so not only are people assuming that she's gone through male puberty and that she's better than she is, but she's actually been beaten by 9 other women. So she's really not. She's not at an unfair advantage at all. And it's very obvious that she's not at an unfair advantage because she's lost 9 fights to other women. So why is everybody up in arms about this chick?
But in reality, she didn't. Now, J.K. Rowling and a host of other personalities jumped on the hate train with the assumption that Khalif was trans, transitioning from male to female. But if they took 1 second to look beyond the surface, they would see that this was not the case. So let me answer a couple of questions for you. Number 1, is Imani Khalif trans? Well, let's continue.
Does that mean the woman with... No, she wasn't entitled. Oh, of course not. She was not entitled to do what she did. It just made it extra interesting.
Let's compare it to Leah Thomas. They both have XY chromosomes, but Leah Thomas was born with male sex organs.
Yeah.
Where Khalif was born with female sex organs.
Yeah, Leah Thomas was born with male sex organs, went through male puberty, then transitioned. Imani Khalif did not. She was born with female sex organs and did not go through male puberty.
Thomas went through male puberty, and Khalif went through female puberty. Thomas still has her sex organs, her male sex organs.
Seriously? Thomas didn't even get bottom surgery? Thomas didn't even get bottom surgery, and we have to say she and Leah Thomas. Oh.
Where Khalif has female sex organs and always has had female sex organs. So is Imani Khalif trans? No. She didn't transition from male to female. She's always been female. This is why the Olympics said this.
What do you say to the female athletes who are competing, who are very concerned that they will get in the ring against athletes who are so powerful and they feel that they have an unfair advantage because of their high testosterone levels?
I think what I would say at this stage is that, as I said before, these athletes, boxers, are entirely eligible. They are women on their passport. They have competed for many years, and I actually think it's not helpful to start stigmatizing people who take part in sport like this. But they are women. They competed in Tokyo. I think we all have a responsibility, by the way, to try to dial down this and not turn it into some kind of witch hunt.
Thank you. Thank you, person from the International Olympic Committee. For the first time this year, you're saying and doing something correct. This is totally a witch hunt, and it needs to stop. Like, yes, there are trans people that are taking advantage of the situation. Yes, there are trans people that are like, oh, I'm a woman now. Give me a medal. Yes, absolutely. But should we be witch hunting every single person who has a freaking probably we don't have to be talking like this. We don't have to be witch hunting every single person who has different chromosomes or is different parts or is different in some way. Like, this is where the pendulum swing is going.
These are regular athletes who've competed for many years in boxing. They're entirely eligible. They are women on their passports, and that, I think, is enough said from me. So thank you very much.
Now, I believe because of medical privacy laws, this prevents the Olympic Committee from just saying outright that this person was born with female sex organs.
Yeah.
So Khalif is definitely not trans. That's why they keep saying this person is not trans. Matter of fact, most people with this condition don't even know they have it until later in life. Now, this could also occur in the opposite way, where people with XX chromosomes are physically men and go through male puberty. So this begs the question, what is a woman? Is it just having XX chromosomes, or is it your sex organs that determines it? Remember, Khalif was born with all female sex organs and all female parts. Now, some are saying that Khalif had a elevated level of testosterone, but that happens with both women with XX chromosomes and women with XY chromosomes.
There's even in the monthly cycle of like the estrogen cycle, there's a time in every monthly estrogen cycle where you produce some more testosterone than other times.
Also, sometimes women with XY chromosomes have less testosterone than women with XX chromosomes. Now, just to be clear, Khalif did not transition into anything. This is misinformation about the incident, which is kind of crazy. So, what do you think? Should Khalif be banned from competition? No. She literally is a woman in every single way except her chromosomes are wrong. Now, the left is going to say it's transphobia, the fear of trans people even though they were born women with all women parts. Here's what they're saying.
Folks like J.K. Rowling criticizing the match in the days leading up to it, and then after it happened, sharing a pic of Karini crying and saying, could any picture sum up our new men's right movement better? The smirk of a male who knows he's protected by a misogynist sporting establishment, enjoying the distress of a woman he's just punched in the head. Logan Paul.
I don't know if I agree with J.K. Rowling on a lot of stuff about the trans thing, but I don't know if I agree with that.
Follows are taking to Twitter and describing it as the purest form of evil unfolding right before your eyes. With that, saying a man was allowed to beat up a woman on a global stage, crushing her life's dream while fighting for her deceased father. Elon Musk responding to a post saying men don't belong in women's sports with absolutely, and similarly resharing a post with a clip of the punch saying Kamala Harris supports this, vote
Ooh, damn.
accordingly. But then with all that, you've also seen a lot of people saying those people are just sharing misinformation.
So my message to you, is Khalif a woman or a man? Should she be able to compete in the Olympics? What about the millions of other people who have this condition and don't even know it? Let me know how you feel in the comment section.
I know that.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do like great YouTube stuff. My name is Nathan Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I don't think I know that book, Jordan. But that's crazy. Some of the things that are being said about Aman Khalif, because she was born with XY chromosomes. That's insane to me. Like, what are we really witch hunting like this? Is this what we're doing now? is this really how we're going to treat people, like, just because they're different? Because a few because let's face it, right? The majority of trans people just want to transition and live their life and be left alone, right? They don't care about, like, they don't want your kids to be trans, right? They don't want to go into sports and beat the hell out of people that, like, you know, like, that is not the majority of trans people, right? So the fact that a few loud minority people in this group are convincing all of the allies that this is how it should be, and all the white knight allies, oh, of course we have to support the trans movement. Meanwhile, most trans people that aren't in this crazy movement are like, what the fuck are you people talking about?
Did you get the new squats, the new side raises, and the stretch from Mr. Snorlax?
I did not, thank you. So yeah, it's like, it's crazy to me that either side, one, thinks, two, that the majority of trans people are plotting to get your kids to transition, or to go into women's prisons and rape them, or to go into women's sports and beat the hell out of them. Like, that is so the minority of trans people, but the crappy part is that minority is so fucking loud, and they've got the fucking white knights and the allies, the dumb liberals, on their side, pushing all this shit. Whew, okay, squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a stretch. Oh. Oh. Big stretches. Whew. All right. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Button-up shirts are a distraction. Waiting for a button to pop, huh? Dare I? Dare I? Dare I? No, I might get in trouble. I might get in trouble if I do that. And I don't want to get in trouble. Alright, so our next video, we're going to be doing a don't walk run, because I love watching this stuff. Democrats want you to believe this lie, is the title of this video. Here we go, let's take a look at what Mr. Andrew has to say.
This is Kamala Harris. The shadow. This is Kamala Harris, the shadow president of the United States. The Biden-Harris administration's immigration policies have been an absolute disaster. But instead of coming up with a new plan to fix the border or taking any responsibility for past failures, the Democrats have once again resorted to gaslighting with the following Kamala campaign ad.
Oh, this will be good. This should be good. Let's see what kind of bullshit they're gonna say.
On the border, the choice is simple. Kamala Harris supports increasing the number of Border Patrol agents. Donald Trump blocked a bill to increase the number of Border Patrol agents.
How? Wasn't he not in power when that bill was put into the House of Congress?
Well, considering that Donald Trump hasn't held office for the last 3.5 years, I'd love to know exactly how he blocked legislation that was introduced in 2024.
Okay, thank you. I thought that didn't make any sense. I mean, I may be Canadian and not quite understand when specific bills were put into place in your country, but I'm pretty sure that this is not something that he could have done. I'm just saying.
Not to mention that several non-Republican senators voted against the so-called bipartisan border bill. I didn't know Trump had that kind of influence.
Why are people telling me to
and before
inbox
you
them
ask,
on Twitter?
No, that ad isn't a parody, but it
me?
is a joke because they think the voters are so stupid that they're not only going to forget that the Biden-Harris administration were the ones that opened the floodgates, but on top of that,
Kamala,
they claim that actually it was Trump and the MAGA Republicans' fault. But sure, if Kamala Harris wants to play this game, then let's f***ing go.
Oh boy, Andrew's pissed. This is good.
In May 2023, the House introduced H.R. 2, also known as the Secure the Border Act of 2023.
And how exactly was Trump able to stop that bill when he was nowhere near that bill because he was not in office?
The bill specifically calls for hiring and maintaining an active duty presence of not fewer than 22,000 full-time equivalent Border Patrol agents who may not perform the duties of processing coordinators. In other words, these 22,000 Border Patrol agents would not be forced to perform administrative tasks related to the intake and processing of illegal aliens seeking asylum.
So they literally would not be allowed to do paperwork, is basically what this is saying. These border agents would literally just be patrol, detain, that type of thing.
Instead, they would be able to focus on their jobs. You know, actually patrolling the border. But for some reason, not a single House Democrat voted to hire Border Patrol agents. Which is weird because I thought that Kamala Harris and the Democrats wanted additional border agents. Let's continue.
Kamala Harris supports investing in new technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Donald Trump blocked funding for technology to block fentanyl from entering the country.
How?
Kamala Harris supports spending more money to stop human traffickers. Donald Trump blocked money to stop human traffickers.
Where? You guys literally made the border explode when you took office. What the fuck are you talking about?
But H.R. 2 had already addressed all these issues nearly a year before the so-called bipartisan border bill was even introduced. H.R. 2 would have utilized any appropriate technology, including excess tech from the Department of Defense, to detect, interdict, and disrupt human smuggling, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and other illicit cross-border activity.
That sounds good. I don't know why they wouldn't have voted for that. Other than they thought it was, like, racist or something to have technology that scanned for all of that stuff.
Again, every single Democrat in the House voted against it. And by Kamala Harris's standard, that means that the Democrats support human trafficking and drug trafficking. Sad, really.
I love the way he uses their own logic against them. Well, if you vote against that, then that means you support it. So I guess you support human trafficking and drug trafficking. Way to go.
And despite Kamala's claim that she supports funding for border security, just a couple of years ago when she was senator, she signed onto a letter demanding the opposite. We ask you to reject President Trump's funding request for a costly and ineffective border wall, new Border Patrol agents, and a large increase in U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement personnel and detention beds.
So you wanted the complete opposite of what you're claiming to want now. Well, that sounds just brilliant, and like everybody would believe a single thing you say.
We urge the committee to reject President Trump's proposal for funding to hire new Border Patrol personnel at this time.
Of course.
Interesting.
Yes.
There's two choices.
Let's not hire what we need to hire because the orange man suggested it. Right? That's literally what it is. The orange man said we need to hire more security agents. So therefore, let's not do it.
The committee to reject President Trump's proposal for funding to hire new Border Patrol personnel at this time. Interesting.
There's two choices in this election. The one who will fix our broken immigration system and the one who's trying to stop her.
So ironically, Joe Biden's border czar is claiming that she's gonna fix the border, even though it was the Biden-Harris administration
because Democrats don't
that
want
broke it in the
borders.
first
No, they
place.
don't.
Why not visit the border? Why not?
Oh, I remember this quote from like when it actually happened.
See what Americans are seeing in this crisis.
Well, we are going to the border. We have to deal with what's happening at the border. There's no question about that. That's not a debatable point.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point,
at some point,
we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't.
And I haven't been to Europe.
Right, but you're not vice president of Europe, bitch. You're vice president of the United States, and the border of that country needs attention from you. So you should go there.
And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Wow, can't wait for 8 years of that.
And there are many critics, some within your own party, who say that there's more that your administration should be doing on the migration front. Do they have a point?
If you want to deal with the problem, then do it if you are a leader by participating in the solution.
What does that mean? What does that mean? She's like, people in your own party are saying you're not doing enough. Oh, well, if you want to be a leader, then you gotta participate in the solution. No shit, Sherlock. What are you talking about?
Harris was made the border czar, which means that she was the point person on the issue of immigration. She was literally the one that was supposed to lead the effort. In fact, Joe Biden basically gave her the authority to do whatever she wanted to do.
It's not her full responsibility and job, but she's leading the effort. When she speaks for me, doesn't have to check with me. She knows what she's doing, and I hope we can move this along.
But
full
so
responsibility and job, but she's leading the effort.
Harris.
She speaks for me, doesn't have to check with me. She knows what she's doing, and I hope we can move this along.
So he gave her basically carte blanche authority to do whatever he wanted, or she wanted. That's pretty much what I'm hearing, is that he gave her carte blanche authority to basically carry out what she wanted to.
But instead of doing her job, Kamala Harris spent an inordinate amount of time making excuses.
Do you have plans to visit the border?
Not today.
I love that. Not today. Obviously not today. The question wasn't, are you flying down to the border right this second?
I've said I'm going to go to the border. And when are you going to the border, Vice President? The administration has asked... I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border.
I want to ask you about the border. Would you call the border secure?
I think that there is no question that we have to do what the president and I asked Congress to do. Is the first request we made. Pass a bill?
Pass a bill? What, are you fucking broken? Does somebody need to shake you back into life? Are you okay, Kamala? Are you did you short out?
To create a pathway to citizenship.
The question was, is the border secure? And instead of answering no, Kamala pivoted to, we have to turn illegal immigrants into American citizens.
That's great. We also have to put in place a law and a plan for a pathway for citizenship.
No, we don't. No. That's not what we need to be doing. We need to make them, if they want to come to our countries, we need to make them do it legally. We don't just need to be like, oh, you came here? Oh, well then we'll just give you citizenship. Screw everything that all the other people did. I need help writing for a character in a book I'm writing. Huh. Yeah. Canada and the US need to close their borders until we sort our shit out. Agreed. Yeah. Give it about 5 years. That should bring everything back to normal. Yeah, it should. I would agree. And Holloway, what do you need help with? That's very interesting. What's your character? Oh, I need water. I'm out of water. My mouth is all dry and shit. Okay, I'm glad I went and checked Twitch chat. Okay, let's push play.
For the millions of people who are here and are prepared to do what is legally required.
But they're not prepared to do what's legally required because they hopped the goddamn border.
Hey. Be careful letting them have too much of the 5 gum.
Okay.
That's what you bought.
Oh.
Was 5.
What's 5 again?
It's just it has a lot of sorbitol in it.
What's sorbitol?
That's just a diuretic. Hence why he's been pooping so much. Okay?
Okay, so...
I just noticed what it is, right? You can eat half a piece.
Okay. Can you refill that for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
What was the commercial?
There
was a commercial about 5 gum. Now I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But seriously, they hopped the border, so they're not willing to do what's legally required
to gain citizenship.
So even though illegal immigration is one of the biggest concerns among voters, Kamala's plan is to reward illegal aliens who've been living and working in the United States illegally for years, and then reward them with citizenship for no reason.
No reason, yeah.
Good luck in November, honey.
Yeah, there's no way. There is no way that she is going to win in November. Just like there is no way that Justin Trudeau is going to win in October of 2025. It's just not going to happen.
The border, by many people's account, is not secure.
No.
By Border Patrol agents who are there telling the media they just don't believe it is. Do you believe the border is secure now?
I will tell you something. One of our highest priorities is to ensure that we have a secure border. And that is what we are doing.
Fact check false. During the first 3.5 years of the Biden-Harris administration, there have been a reported 6.3 million encounters at the southern border.
Holy shit!
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border's secure?
We have
6.3 million border encounters.
That's not bad. See,
in the past
Time out.
4 years.
Time out. I'm going to remind everybody of something that seems to have been forgotten. Every single president in my lifetime has allowed for a specific number of already in-country, non-resident, illegal alien people. They were granted asylums. They were granted citizenships. Everyone has done this. These numbers are pretty, not that bad, surprisingly. I'm actually shocked with the numbers. But like, it was like 20 million or something. There's a lot. But you also have to realize, when you look at the numbers, 20 million in Canada is half our population. So we go, oh my God, the shock!
Yeah.
In the States, it's not even 5%.
That's Los Angeles.
Kind of, yeah. It's like one city. It's like San Antonio.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I mean. So when you think about it, yeah, it sounds like this massive fuck off number until you actually look at it from the perspective of the U.S. numbers as a whole.
Yeah. And
then you take everybody and make everybody a dot. Right? And you look and you watch how they scattered everything, how the dots all shape out, and how they end up getting enclosed by all the other dots. Like, yeah, they have 6 million encounters at the border. How many people are already in country? 15, 20 million right now? 30 million? Maybe 50? There's a lot. And those numbers, it could be 50 million by now, 60 million. Who knows? And that's not just now. That's over the last... Like, Obama was the deporter-in-chief. That's why he had that moniker. He had that moniker as being the deporter-in-chief for a reason. He deported more than any other president in history.
And he also was the DACA guy.
Yeah, because there had to be a loophole for some people. That's kind of like the whole, if your kid's born on American soil, he's an American thing. It's the same difference. I went to high school with a couple of them. And it was before DACA, but it was the same. There was a different thing they were called at the time. But it was literally Jesse's mother. We made fun of him because his mother actually literally hopped the fence from Tijuana. Right? She hopped the fence.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was pregnant and gave birth to him, I think, in San Diego. So she was like in labor hopping the fence. Kind of a thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, it's insane. There's all sorts of interesting stories of watching. Like, Lejeune has interesting fucking tales. Pendleton has tales. Everybody has tales. Everyone has these stories. Like, you go to Texas, you run anywhere along the South Texas border, and everybody has a story.
Yeah.
Like, even when I was in that bus stop in El Paso, and that was in 02. 03? 03? I'll say 03. It was like the spring of 03. Okay. Even being in El Paso then, same difference.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell there were people that, like, you could see it. You could see the people who had just gotten there. So, it was a weird fucking time. Now, I can't even imagine how hard or how easy it is. And the problem is everyone now wants to play the witch hunt game.
Yeah.
It's getting worse. And what I said needs to happen is Canada and the U.S. both need to just shut our borders. Even with each other. Close the Canadian, close the midline if you have to. But for the most part, we shut all borders off all around all three.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mexico, you gotta get cut off because you're primarily the fucking problem right now.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously coming in from Honduras. The Honduran wall doesn't mean fuck all anymore.
No.
And that thing is what they wanted to model the U.S.-Mexico wall after. So there's nothing there. They're coming up in all of this shit. Like, but you've got these bleeding hearts. Oh, but they're coming from these countries that are so horribly war-torn. What are they doing to stop their governments from going out of hand?
Right.
Oh, well, Maduro is a fucking proof of why these people are escaping. Maduro is a perfect example. Because you can't stand up to the government because they took all your arms.
Yep.
Why is it that we're trying right now so hard to fight against them, trying to take the last bastion of weapons that we have? The last of our good caches, the last that we don't have that aren't scary military style. Okay? Like, that's the whole thing. Yeah, the U.S. can come up here at any point now and take us because the civilian population has no defense.
Yep.
Hell, fuck! Our armed
we sent them all to the Ukraine. All right.
A secure border, in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration. But there are still a lot of problems that we are trying to fix, given the deterioration that happened over the last 4 years. The border is secure.
But it's
No,
never
it's
been
not.
secure under border czar Kamala Harris. Just in the first 6 months of this year, there have been over 1 million encounters at the southwest border. And those numbers are significantly higher than any entire year-long period.
Oh yeah, Trudeau is destroying the country for sure. Oh yeah, no, the Justin Trudeau is absolutely destroying Canada.
Under President Trump.
There's two choices in this election. The one who will fix our broken immigration system and the one who's trying to stop her.
Now, just to be clear, when Democrats claim
The
that
one
they will
who's trying to
fix
stop
our
her.
broken immigration system, it
They're
means
the
that they
ones
want to
who
open
broke
the gates to as many illegal border crossers, asylum seekers, and economic migrants as humanly possible.
Let me just be very clear. We have to have a secure border, but I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross the border as criminals. You got to play by the rules.
But they are
but
criminals.
we can't treat people like criminals.
And you used
So
to be an attorney
Kamala
general.
has never been tough on the border, and if you think that she's going to change course now, well, here's who she just chose to be her running mate.
It's done.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
Now, does that
Driver's license for all? What the fuck? What?
Minute 20-second ad break's going right now. Pause and go do your break.
Okay.
Go take a pee break. You have 1 minute.
Be right back, everybody.
Sorry, I just caught it. I can see sign.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. I just wanted... Pink Hollow just caught the ad break. Let's see. Should Americans worry about surveillance in the U.S.? Yes. Yes, they should. They should absolutely worry about that. We should all worry about surveillance, I think. I think it's something that, we should all be concerned about. So let's take a look at what this is about.
So when you arrive in the United States in a lot of airports these days, it's not just a passport agent that looks at your passport. There's a camera that can take your picture to confirm your identity.
Oh, good.
Every year, hundreds of millions of people travel in and out of the United States. In 2021, U.S. Customs and Border Protection rolled out a biometric program at airports aimed at automating the entry-exit process.
So, biometric, that means like facial recognition software and stuff, right? They have that stuff in Britain a lot. Like with the cameras all over Britain.
What the photo does, we take images of known persons, people that have either submitted passport photos. So we're doing a match. We take the live photo and compare it to a photo that we already have of the individual.
This is like facial recognition technology.
We call it.
This happens with verification stuff too online, like for government stuff. You show a picture of your ID and then you take a selfie of yourself to show that they match.
And compare it to a photo that we already have of the individual.
This is like facial recognition technology.
We call it comparison because when people hear facial recognition, they automatically orient to surveillance.
Sure.
What we do is very distinct from surveillance. It's to enhance security. We've always been getting the biographic data for years. Now we're biometrically confirming that data. We have about 100 million passengers now that have been processed through facial biometric comparison.
And it's true, they have been getting the biographic data for years with like x-rays and all that stuff, but like, is that justifiable for biometric data as well? And is it ethical for them to be collecting that data, and what do they do with that data is the other question.
If this is like, 1.0, what does 2.0 look like?
Where we're really working diligently, and kind of the final frontier for us, is getting it up and running in the vehicle environment at our land border ports of entry. Certainly our southwest border. We can't let bad people...
to look at the passports and stuff at the land borders, get the cameras up there.
People and bad things into the country.
As migrants cross in record numbers, the border between the U.S. and Mexico is where U.S. Customs and Border Protection rolls out its most innovative technology.
That would make sense, considering that since that's the most penetrated that's the most penetrated border, it would make sense to deploy the most innovative and most cutting-edge technology in that area. All the stuff we were warned about. I avoid public because of the overreach. That's a good point. Oh! Solo or stretch, huh? Lucky you people. Whoa, that was close. You're bad, spittle buggies. Do 10 squats? Okay. The 1984 isn't just a book. Nope. Okay, let's do squats. 1. Whoa. 2. 3. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay. Hee hee hee. Oh. Do 10 side raises. Okay. Go. You should see the gif I made of that shirt. Oh, yeah. And you did ×2 for the side raises, right? Cannibalistic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, whew, 17, 18, 19, 20. Holy shit. That burns slightly. Ooh. Holy shit. Oh. That's better. Posture check. Jumping jacks would probably be a challenge. Yup. Hey, you! We tested it, you didn't need to hold it. Sorry. Alright, let's go back over here to our live scene. Whew. That was fun.
Just being here is an act of defiance.
Why is that?
Because the government is hell-bent on keeping people off the river. They don't want anyone here to observe and document what they're doing.
Okay, now you sound crazy. I'm sorry, but you sound crazy.
So, at either end of the wall, there are little outposts like National Guard or observation towers. And then there's those big surveillance towers. The raid towers are replacing all of these little ones. You can see some of the relays on the telephone poles and the omnidirectional antenna sticking out of a tree.
I'm confused. Why are we putting all these antennas in trees and shit? What is this at the border? I don't understand. Is this at the border? What's with the scary, ominous music?
Yeah. Different things like that as we head upriver.
Mariano Trevino Wright is the executive director of the National Butterfly Center in Mission, Texas, which sits on the Rio Grande, directly across from Mexico. She's a U.S. citizen, but because Mariana lives and works near the border, she lives under the thumb of CBP and Border Patrol.
No, sir, we didn't.
Wait, what are they asking?
She lives under the thumb of CBP and Border Patrol.
So she lives right by the border. Okay. So that's what she's talking about.
No, sir, we didn't. So they just did that to get their own video of all of you.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? This is weird. I don't understand this. I mean, I get it. So she lives at the border, the land border. And they just saw that these guys, I guess, were filming. So they came and randomly asked if they called the station recently. Okay.
Mariana might sound alarmist, but the jurisdiction of CBP doesn't just apply to migrants or those living along the border. It extends 100 miles inland, leaving 2/3 of the U.S. population susceptible to potential surveillance.
Okay, that's fucked up. 100 miles inland? Why is that? That does... Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Get this, that includes our border. Okay.
Okay.
So, but 100 miles inland doesn't just mean like they split like from the border, like on the Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
They actually can go from the shoreline.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Do we have the same law up on this side? Does CBP have the...
We got it.
Like if
You think the RCMP, CBP, OPP, Alberta Provincial, all of them have different rules? Fuck no. Here's something funny. No matter where you are in Ontario, any officer can get you for anything.
Okay.
Okay? That's how it works. Anywhere in the country, Border Patrol can fucking tag you in Northwest Territories if they want.
And then RCMP can, like...
RCMP just breaks down your door.
Ah.
RCMP just arrests you for talking shit about Trudeau. Oops, did I say that? I'm sorry, Constable. Look, we don't have any more Frasers in the RCMP anymore. That's the shitty part. Okay? If we had more Constable Frasers and Dudley Do-Rights, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
It'd be like the old way. Ever since that's the problem. We don't have those men anymore.
Nope.
Now it's all cowards.
There's a guy in Texas who's okay. Spittlebuggy is saying something in Twitch chat here.
Mariana herself has found multiple cameras and recording devices on her property. You suspect they're collecting information about you?
I know they're collecting information about everyone. In about 2014, 2015, I could hear clicking in and out of my cell phone. And I told my husband, I think they're listening to my cell phone calls out on the border.
And you probably sounded crazy. But back in 2014-ish, that was still when selling for interception, like, do you remember the old days when your cell phone would be like, when it was near a different signal? I wonder if that's what she was hearing.
And then, not long after that, they produced all the documents attesting to the fact that they were doing exactly that.
Just by virtue of living near the border, you're a subject to all this surveillance. Without any consent, without like any due cause or warrants or things like that.
Without any of that.
Crazy.
I mean, this sounds like a civil liberties nightmare.
It's very stressful. I mean, the harassment is everywhere.
You know, you look at a country like China that has like technological tracking of all of its citizens, facial recognition technology, social scores, all of these things. And I think people are like, the United States is never gonna be like China like that.
No, we absolutely will.
That sounds really scary. Like, how scared should we be about this? Because there's like this fine line, right, between like fact-based vigilance and like a little bit of paranoia and like.
And to be honest, this lady, unfortunately, sounds very paranoid. But that's the crazy part about this, is that 5 years ago, all of the stuff that we were saying, you know, made us sound very paranoid. And now look at where we are.
There's like this fine line, right, between like fact-based vigilance and like a little bit of paranoia. And like hearing from you, I don't know which side of the line to land on.
I don't know that it does any good to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
People need to become well-informed, and they need to be courageous enough to act.
How do you act, though?
Surveillance has already moved beyond the borderlands. From CBP-deployed drones at BLM protests to a Homeland Security secret list of journalists and human rights lawyers.
Border security had drones at BLM riots? Okay, then.
The watchers are being watched. But the greatest threat isn't the visible technologies themselves. It's how the information they capture is analyzed.
And what
Palantir Technologies is one of the most prominent players in the field of data analytics, and they're behind some of the government's most high-profile missions. The company is rumored to have helped execute the capture of Osama bin Laden, and their software powered some of the largest deportation raids in U.S. history.
Wow. They're a big deal. That's quite the that's quite the boast there.
It was founded in 2004 by PayPal billionaire Peter Thiel.
What? Oh.
That they did.
Yeah.
Is aside from your actual designated ad rolls.
Okay.
That's the every 30-minute thing, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in between, they put these little 10-second ad rolls in.
Oh.
But they don't stop your video or anything or move it over to the side. They just overlay it. And half the time, your audio is intermixed with their audio.
Oh,
and it sounds like absolute dog shit.
Horrible.
Oh, it's fucking trash.
That's very annoying. Let me back that up a minute.
U.S. history. Most high-profile, prominent players in the field of data analytics, and they're behind some of the government's most high-profile missions. The company is rumored to have helped execute the capture of Osama bin Laden, and their software powered some of the largest deportation raids in U.S.
The music is adding so much ambiance to everything.
Isn't it, though?
Especially the whining. When it comes to the whiny stuff, it's hilarious because it's the sad violin music that everyone needs to hear. I'm speeding this up because you're taking too goddamn long on this video.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're 5 minutes into a 15-minute video.
It really worked with the Kamala shit.
Oh, it gets better. There's the other stuff. It's going to be funnier, but hurry up and get through this tripe, and then we'll get on to the next stuff. Okay.
Okay.
U.S. history. It was founded in 2004 by PayPal billionaire Peter Thiel.
We cannot let
PayPal.
free market
PayPal
ideology
guy?
serve as an excuse for decline.
Thiel and fellow Palantir founder Joe Lonsdale are among the Silicon Valley ultra-rich. They claim staunch libertarian views and promote American exceptionalism and dominance, particularly over China.
We're also a nation that has very different values than China. It is important that we stay ahead of them in defense and ahead of them in AI.
Palantir employees rarely speak publicly about their time and work at the company, but former engineer Philip Sufitsky wants to demystify the capabilities of the software.
Demystify, huh? That just sounds ominous. I wish to demystify this. Why can't you just say clarify?
Part of working at Palantir, they felt it was very important that everybody knew what the software was well enough that if somebody asked about it, you could give them a overview or a sales pitch.
Yeah, what's the pitch?
The way I try to explain it to people, if you think about any sort of crime procedural, they always have this big corkboard. and they've got note cards, they've got pictures, they've got newspaper clippings, etc. But if you had a cork board that's 1 million feet wide, that's Palantir.
That's when you say Palantir, all I picture is the big crystal ball from Lord of the Rings. That's all I think about. Because I'm a giant fucking nerd.
That's the trend of the world in general. It's very much trending towards people or data points.
In 2004, Thiel was the first to invest in another little venture called Facebook. As we all eagerly signed up for this new mode of connection, the company revolutionized how our personal data is bought, sold, and shared.
But we're not talking about like selling me jeans on Instagram here.
No.
We're talking about using state power.
You need to know that if it's law enforcement, if it's a regulatory agency, whatever data it can collect and does collect will be analyzed more efficiently than before. It's a lot of power for people with the data and with the analytics tools to have over individuals.
Yeah, that's not good. We don't need a power imbalance like that. That's not necessary. Why do we need an informational power informational power imbalance?
Companies like Palantir are revolutionizing how our data is used by the government. And now across the country, surveillance technology is being welcomed with open arms to combat crime, enhance public safety, and even to track the spread of COVID-19. Peachtree Corners, just outside Atlanta, government.
Did he say attract?
And now across the country, surveillance tech
of power for people with the data and with the analytics tools to have over individuals.
Companies like Palantir are revolutionizing how our data is used by the government. And now across the country, surveillance technology is being welcomed with open arms to combat crime, enhance public safety, and even to track the spread of COVID-19.
Oh, to track. He's okay because of it sped up.
Peachtree Corners, just outside Atlanta, is a city of just 40,000. But since the 1960s, the community's leaders have envisioned it would be a hub for technological innovation.
Okay.
Today, the city has its own Curiosity Labs, which is a testing site for
should we finish this? Okay. I'm going to not finish this. Let's see. Let's find something better. Let's find something better.
Trust me, there's lots of good stuff.
Ooh! Is Deal Dash the internet's biggest scam? Let's take a look at that. That's a 12-minute video. So let's see here. I think I've seen Deal Dash, not DoorDash.
Yes, it is.
But I think I...
Donut got sponsored by them for a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's that auction site, the penny auction.
Oh! Oh, well, let's take a look.
This video is sponsored by Incogni. If you've watched any TV in the past 15 years, you've probably seen at least a few ads for the online website Deal Dash. To most, it may seem like a simple auction bidding website, similar to the much larger eBay, where you can get high-end items for mere pennies on the dollar, but if you peel back the layers of what Deal Dash is doing, you'll see just how deceptive this website truly is, and how the company even disclosed in their own terms of service that users are likely to spend more money using the service than the retail cost for any product they might receive.
Oh shit. That's not a deal. That's not a deal at all. If you're spending more money on shit than you would normally, that's the opposite of a deal.
I got this mountain bike for only $11.
No, you didn't.
DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. An iPad worth $505 was sold for less than $24, a PlayStation 4 for less than $16, and a Schultz 4K television for less than $2.
Liar! Liar! Where's the... I need the clip of the old woman from Princess Bride.
I want these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
If you watch a few of their ads, it seems like a great deal. They show customers getting sometimes 90% or more off great items on the website and like to market themselves as the fair and honest bidding site. A quick glance at most review sites, like their app review on the Apple Store, we'll see that Deal Dash is repping an impressive 4.4-star review rating with over 42,000 reviews.
Yeah, and how many of those are bot reviews? And I don't just mean like bot as in B-O-T. I mean bot as in how many of those were bought and paid for by the company.
From the outside, this company looks legit and seems to be offering an amazing deal to customers, which is why they're so highly rated. However, if you take a closer look at some of their reviews, you'll see some very suspicious behavior of even supposed 5-star reviews that are nothing but negative of the company. Take, for example, a recent 5-star review that stated, "Throwing away money. While you can very rarely win an auction, there are about a dozen people who control this app. They seem to have a limitless bids and win everything."
Oh, that's amazing. So there's people who have the money to bid whenever they want, so of course they control the bidding on the app.
Bots, maybe? You see one of them jump into an auction and your heart sinks because you know they will bid forever and you will just waste all your bids. So everyone gets out and they win without even having to spend much, even though they are willing to. Also, you can be in an auction forever and have spent almost all your bids, but then someone who placed one bid early on jumps in and wins because you run out of bids.
That is so shady. Holy shit. This is why auction sites, I freaking hate that shit, because there are so many different ways to kind of play the system with an auction. It's just, I hate that.
Overall, you spend so much on bids that even when you do win something, you are still down big bucks from all the ones you have not won but bid on. So do not be fooled when they let you win a couple when you are new. This is just to get you hooked.
First one's free. First deal's free.
I wish they could even the field somehow because it is fun to bid, but unless you can lose lots of money, stay away. It always seems fishy to me when you find a highly reviewed website or app and then find out that a lot of their supposed 5-star reviews are negative in nature.
How can you have a 5-star review that's negative? Yeah, but if you are giving a bad review, put in like 1 or 2 stars. Really? Wow. That's bullshit.
It brings to question. Just why people are deciding to leave these reviews, and if they are even real reviews or are possibly being compensated to leave them in some way. Whatever the reason, a lot of people seem to review the website highly, not because they get great deals, but because it has an addictive nature that feeds a gambling aspect that many of these people seem to have.
That's probably exactly what it is. It's the gambling on and bidding on items.
Lots of people are losing money on these websites, but the thrill of going after a $1,000 TV and having a tiny chance of winning it for $20 is just too much of a thrill to pass up, and people can't help themselves from being sucked into the process. Lots of people like to compare Deal Dash to the much larger eBay, as they are both auction sites, but in reality these websites are vastly different. As someone who has a store that has sold items on eBay for over a decade and talked about the website heavily on this channel when I first started, I feel like I'm someone who can easily spot the differences that some people may easily overlook. On eBay, they have buy it now and auction style items.
Yes.
Buy it now is a flat rate price, and the auction process allows bidders to increase the total price of the item by small amounts until the timer eventually runs out and the top bidder has to pay for the item.
And I don't think it's like, it's not I don't think it's like pennies on the How much? Squats, side raises, and what? Oh, okay. Alright, let's start with squats. I can't remember now. It's gone. Fuck you! hugs for you tonight. Oh, I can. For what? I'm not a blonde either. Ugh. 10. Whew. Side raises time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Oh my goodness. There we go. Back to live scene. I have... Oh, and my hydrate.
Everyone who bids on the item but lost pays nothing, as only the
Correct.
final top bidder pays. Deal Dash, on the other hand, charges you for every single bid that you make on an item, so regardless of if you win or lose, you end up paying a small amount for each item you bid on, which can quickly rack up to hundreds of dollars in fees.
No wonder they're rich. Holy crap, they make bank off of people who have that dopamine hit.
We'll go into just how deceptive the nature of this fee-based bidding system is after a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Incogni. Every year, data brokers collect your personal information.
Where's the Soldier Boy console?
Contact details. My audience.
That's
I signed
funny,
up, and within
Mr.
minutes,
Self-Destruction.
Incogni had sent out hundreds of removal requests to websites. Only data back with Incogni. Digging into the bidding system on Deal Dash, you can quickly find just how deceptive
I need
this
to put my
appears
hair
and see
back
that
up.
Deal
I'm
Dash is
hot.
making a small fortune on selling bids to people. Bids don't cost them anything to create, and they can sell endless amounts of them. A screenshot of their bid buying page shows you can buy 220 bids for a total of $30.80,
Jesus!
or their largest package of 4,000 bids for a total of $560. What's comical is they claim the list price for these bids is much higher, and you are getting a massive deal.
You're getting a massive
The 4,000
deal,
bids
yeah.
package they claim is $2,400 value, when in
Oh,
reality,
fuck
since
off.
these bids don't cost them anything
No,
to
it
make,
isn't.
they can claim the price is anything they want. In reality, I doubt anyone would ever buy bids at the insane list price, and the discount is the true price most, if not all, people buy the bids at.
True. It's the same with I think it's the same with when they make you, like, when you go to do like a Facebook promotion or a TikTok promotion or something like that, and they're like, you get this deal 20% off. It's like, no, that's probably the price all the time. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a deal.
In Deal Dash's own advertising, they explain how the process works, with each bid increasing the price of an item by 1 cent. Each time someone bids, the countdown timer resets until eventually no one bids.
Why is
and
there
the top
always the
bidder
deal?
wins.
That's a good point.
Keep in mind, each of these bids costs money, and you can quickly see how this appears a lot less like an auction site and much more like a gambling website designed to take advantage of gambling addicts who need their dopamine hits from constantly trying to spend small amounts of money to win high-priced items for way less than retail price.
Oh gee, it's almost like I already said that. It's almost like I already brought up the dopamine thing. How coincidental. Close but safe. Oh, I did? Yeah. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Yes. I try.
All auctions
I'm
start
getting all
at
fat
$0
again.
and 0 cents and have no minimum reserve prices. Each bid placed adds 1 penny to the auction price and resets the countdown timer to 10 seconds. If no new bids are placed in the next 10 seconds, you win the auction.
That's ridiculous. 10 seconds? That is so gambling. Bid now! Bid now! Bid now! Pay for the bids! Pay for the bids! Bid now! Bid now!
Claim your win by paying the final auction price to receive your product.
Now, to me, this seems insanely deceptive
Yep.
and downright predatory in nature. This is far more complicated and manipulative than how they present themselves in their flashy commercial.
And if you're using Deal Dash on your phone, it'll just connect through your like Google Pay or your Apple Store account, and you can just like use your whatever billing method you have on that account and just buy.
Commercials. The company known as Truth in Advertising decided to dig deeper into some of Deal Dash's ads to see just how deceptive they truly are. They focused on one ad that featured a woman named Barbara who won a $1,700 TV for less than $30, as stated in their commercial, but in the fine print, Deal Dash admitted that Barbara had to bid 414 times in order to win that TV.
Oh my god! So she had to buy 414 bids and put them down in order to get the chance to win the TV for another $30 on top of that. I wonder how much the 414 bids cost her.
I missed the warning. Break. 2 minutes.
Oh. 2-minute break. Now it's time to go to the washroom. So if you need to do that, you do that. I will be right back. Okay. We are back.
At the time, Deal Dash was selling bid packages at 60 cents a bid, according to Truth in Advertising, meaning that at minimum, Barbara paid $248 to win that TV.
And then she had to pay the $30 for the auction price on top of that.
That's far less than the asking price, but nowhere near the $30 they claim in the ad she paid for it. As stated before, all bids cost money, including those who don't win, so Deal Dash most likely made hundreds or possibly thousands in profits from all the bids from other people who bid against Barbara, who ended up losing and getting nothing for their wasted bids. Now, some people may not have an issue with this at all, but in reality, it's incredibly manipulative to present your company as the fair and honest bidding site, claiming to be saving people tons of money, when in reality, as stated earlier, Deal Dash's own terms of service stated that bidders are on average unlikely to save money using the site.
And especially if you're able, like, to just go and do the in-app purchase thing, that's just even more predatory because, like I said, it's so easy to do. You can just rack up the payments so fast. It's crazy.
They know a large percentage of people who come to the website are not getting any deals at all and are just suckers feeding profit into the bank account of Deal Dash and its owners. In 2017, NBC News did an investigation into Deal Dash and found that they would often sell $100 gift cards on the website that would regularly go for over asking price of $115. With all the bids collected from everyone bidding to win these gift cards, NBC News reported that Deal Dash was possibly making nearly $1,500 in bid cost for every $100 gift card they auctioned off. That's 15 times the actual cost of the product, and hundreds of people who bid walk away with nothing but empty pockets.
Wow.
What's amazing about how effective this is that even when you know people are getting conned into these bad deals, you still can get suckered into participating because of how manipulative it truly is. YouTuber Austin Evans investigated Deal Dash for a video a few weeks ago, and knowing all this, he still got suckered into wasting over $250 on a Nintendo Switch that he didn't even end up winning.
That sucks. Knowing all of this, he still got suckered out of that. That really sucks.
Last night, I put another $30 in, and I was still locked in a bidding war with like 3 other people. So I spent another $80.
Jesus.
So my grand total is $258.
Wait, that's almost the price of what this thing costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is literally a Switch basically costs $250. So he spent the equivalent of the price of a Switch to win a Switch for less than the price of a Switch.
That's the price in bids. There you go, my final bid. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's over.
Failure. On top of all of that deception, Deal Dash has also been accused of selling fake luxury items on their website with inflated prices far beyond what they are actually worth.
So they're selling knockoffs and they're jacking up the prices of the knockoffs just to get more money off of these people that are bidding. Lovely.
NBC News reported that a bidder named Grant, who ended up suing Deal Dash, claimed the website was selling a travel bag made by a company named Bolvaint Paris with a retail price of $2,900. More research into this Bolvaint company found some disturbing info. For one, the company didn't appear to sell their bags in any retail shops, and the items they sold seemed to be made specifically to be seen as deals for sites like Deal Dash.
Oh, so they're basically decoy items or like sample items specifically for the websites. Oh, well, that's just lovely.
Further investigation found that Bolvaint was run by a woman named Maureen Aubry, who is the chairwoman of another company named Galton Voicier. For longtime viewers of the channel, that name may be familiar because Galton Voicier was also the parent company of the now infamous established title scam that I covered back in 2022. Galton Voicier...
Oh! The established title where you could go get a title a deed in Scotland for a piece of land.
Is a parent company to many of the supposed luxury items that sell on Deal Dash, including the infamous Kamikoto knives and other low-quality items masquerading as luxury brands in order to con Deal Dash customers into believing they are getting an amazing deal. Now, to make this Deal Dash swamp even murkier, the founder of Deal Dash was a man named William Wolfram, who, according to LinkedIn, is also the co-founder of Galton Boissier.
So we're seeing a lot of connections here to the same people all over again.
So the guy who created Deal Dash also has his hands in many of the supposed low-end products masquerading as luxury items being sold on Deal Dash. This guy seems to have created a web of companies that's almost impossible to sniff out where one begins and the other one ends.
Yeah, this feels very convoluted and very much like he's done this on purpose, and like he's just trying, like, this is so damn convoluted, it's hard to follow.
It's hard to say which items Wolfram doesn't own or have a stake in that are being sold on the Deal Dash website. Deal Dash has been sued in the past for some of the issues I've talked about before,
I bet.
But as of 2024, they've always been able to beat any lawsuit and continue to operate to this day, making millions, in my opinion, conning people into a gambling website masquerading as an eBay penny site ripoff.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly, and I think Deal Dash is very predatory. The more I've heard, the more I hear about this, the more I think that this company is just a very predatory, very scammy company that takes advantage of weak-willed people who need that dopamine hit. Very scummy. Very, very scummy spittle buggies. You're very, very correct. This is some of the scummiest shit I've seen from a company like this.
With the added knowledge of many of the supposed luxury items being sold on the site being nothing more than low-tier junk made by shadow companies partially controlled by the owner of Deal Dash, it really is surprising so many people still like to use this website. To me, the final nail in the coffin as to why I would never use this website is its connection to the incredibly scammy established titles company.
Yeah, if it's connected to established titles, that kind of puts the warning, the note of warning and the death knell in the coffin for this company. Like, if it's gonna be connected to a company like established titles, then that's just not something that I want to be associated with. Oh my goodness. Gotta get my throat all cleared out. Okay. Let's have a laugh at these two next videos. As the screen says here, it says, what does it say? Cop surprises shoplifter. This should be interesting.
On February 5th, 2024, officers responded to Kohl's in reference to a shoplifting in progress.
Stealing from Kohl's, eh?
Changing right now. She's got jewelry and some clothing in there. She tries to conceal in her purse, and I got footage from her in the past from store and stuff like that.
Okay. You'll have an LP office.
Yeah, I got right over here, right?
Where's the room? What she look like?
So here they are. This is the body cam before they meet up with her. Okay.
African now braids, gray sweatpants, black hoodie with a waist symbol.
Okay. No, we'll right here for her.
I'm sorry, the music just works for this.
Y'all never CTW?
No, it's been recent. I was going to fill out police report. I got all the evidence and everything. Just haven't had time to put in a police report. Been busy.
Okay, sure.
Haven't had time to...
All the evidence and everything. Just haven't had time to put in a police report. Been...
You haven't had time to put in a police report. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. That doesn't sound right.
Okay. 2531, where you at? When you come in the store, we're going to be in the center by the betting rooms. Yeah, you can go get them if you want. I know what I'm looking for.
So they're just coming up, like, I don't understand what they mean by I haven't had time to put in the police report. Here we go.
Come here.
No.
Go ahead and come here.
Well, I ain't got nothing.
Come it.
Oh, here we go. She's running. She's running. She's running.
231 Central, I got one running.
I need the GER. I'm running. Hey, at least he's doing pretty good. He's running pretty good. He's not huffing and puffing too bad. He's running okay.
Get out of the car. Where are you at?
Loss prevention is not a fun job, and they never give you enough hours to put in paperwork. Okay, that makes sense.
We're right out front. She's in custody. Now that was about the dumbest thing you could have done.
Oh, that is so Southern. Oh my God, let's hear that again. Let's hear that again.
We're right out front. She's in custody. Now that was about the dumbest thing you could have done.
Oh my God, that is such a, oh my God. That is just such a fucking, I can picture a father saying that to his kid. You know what I mean? Just like a Southern dad. Now that was just about the dumbest thing you could have done. Dang it, Bobby! That's what I'm... Dang it, Bobby! That was just about the dumbest thing you could have done.
Why we run?
Because I'm with my nose.
All this.
I'm with somebody and they had me stealing.
I'm with somebody and they had me stealing? Oh, okay.
For socks. Going to jail for socks?
Fucking socks! We're going to jail for shoplifting fucking socks! Oh my God. Holy shit!
Let's get inside. If they got a loss prevention area, we'll search her there. Yeah.
He's like, God damn it, I really don't want to be doing a loss prevention. I want to be doing real police work.
Let's go.
Where's your LP office?
Gotta just like perp walk her into the store. The walk of shame. Where's the loss prevention office? I gotta walk her in there like a student going to the principal's office.
Alright. You want me to search you? You got gloves? Yeah, there's something right here.
Yeah, I see it. All right, hey, look at me. You're a female. I'm gonna search you. I'm gonna walk through what I'm doing as I'm doing it, okay?
Okay.
How much stuff do you have on you?
I just have some that's in my pants.
Okay.
I have some what in my pants?
Doing it, okay?
Okay.
How much stuff do you have on you?
I just have some that's in my pants.
Okay. Do me a
I
favor, face
have-
towards on you.
I just have some that's in my pants.
Okay.
I have something in my pants, I think is
Okay.
what she said.
Do me a favor, face towards the camera, or face away from me. All right.
So he's got, at least he's being like, what's it called? He's being, like, gentlemanly about it. He's like, you're a female, I'm gonna search you, and I'm gonna walk you through everything I'm doing. Like, at least he's doing that.
All right, I'm gonna pull the back of this away. Is it underneath here as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fraser won't run off for 5 minutes.
What does she,
Oh, yeah.
all socks?
He's wearing
We're code 4. Go ahead and sign me a case number.
Hey, she's got a buddy that was here with her last time. He's at the registry right now trying to check out.
Huh!
Is he attempting to shoplift?
No, not this time, but yeah. Okay.
So she's got a buddy that wasn't attempting to shoplift. And he's attempting to check out. Oh, that's... I wonder what she's planted on him. That either he doesn't know about or that he's trying to sneak out of the store for her.
Hey, did you file a case number with us and everything?
No, yeah. All I got.
We even got nothing on. All right. I'm gonna unzip your jacket. What are we wearing underneath it?
Oh, I just got on my shirt and my.
Okay. I'm gonna check your sleeves.
He's doing a pretty good job of narrating what he's doing,
Picking
and
up
he's
your hair,
got it on
check your hood.
camera.
I'm behind you. All right. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Look at me. Because you ran, you have an extra charge.
Okay.
You are going to go to Perry. Okay? Concealing stuff on you when you get inside of Perry is an extra charge. Did I miss anything?
No, sir.
Okay.
Did I miss anything? Yeah. Before, just so you know, you are going to the step up jail. I guess is what Perry is. So, do you have any extra stuff on you? Because they don't like that shit. That's basically what he just said.
Press that.
Not me being a minor, I got it.
You're a minor? How old are you?
So, my November 14, 2002.
How old are you?
Hold on, sir.
You said 2002?
Yeah.
You're 20. You're not a minor.
I'm a minor at 20? What is with this shit? What is with Gen Z trying to pull this I'm a kid when they're fucking 20, 21, 22 years old and they think they can go around and fucking act like nothing they do has consequences, nothing they say has consequences, the way they treat people doesn't have consequences. Oh, I'm 20. I don't know any better because I'm 20. Oh, fuck off. You're an adult.
Minor people under the age of 18.
Okay.
Okay.
That should be a $300 bracelet.
Where's the bracelet at?
I left it.
You left it? Did you take it out of the packaging?
No, yeah, I left it in the thing.
Okay.
These are $40 shirts.
Yep.
She stole a lot of shit. She stole a lot of shit. Holy fuck.
Have a seat.
Well,
I don't know if you heard, but multi warrants.
Okay.
I think 2 through bid, 1 through Cobb.
Bid and Cobb?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, stand up for me.
And one in Cobb.
Price wise, it's just, is this?
I'll get you a receipt and give it to you.
I've got it.
Oh, you already got it?
Price is I'm just trying to think. Still, shop.
I don't know what the total was.
That'd be four fucking.
Round 6.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, it's felony shoplifting.
I love how she even knows. That's bad when the perp even knows what she did. Yeah, that's felony. Yeah, that's felony. Holy shit, dude, you need to not be in the system anymore.
Okay. Yeah, it's over 5 because of the necklace that's still missing. And we got to that though once we started adding up the shorts and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I can't do some cold now. Cold is too expensive.
I know, they sell Caterpillar jackets. I didn't even know Caterpillar had a line of clothes.
It's crazy, boy. And the security. Wow.
I love how they're now talking about clothes after she just tried to steal a whole bunch of clothes.
Thank you. Look like you had fun.
I'm trying to like transport because I thought they were over there.
No, we both pulled up here. I went.
Oh, that's a staff member. That's not her.
I went the wrong direction. I think that's why she took off.
Go ahead and have a seat for me.
No, we got it. Thanks for coming out, though.
Huh?
Good one.
Yeah.
Draw.
You're fine. I was like, I was coming this way. I was like, please tell me he's still at the doors. So I was hoping to God you were right there at the door.
That's... What a crazy lady for stealing all that stuff. That's... I can't imagine, like, why? And then to go, I'm a minor, I'm 20. What the fuck? What the, like, seriously? She got 2 years? Well, at least she got something. Oh my goodness. We've already been going for 2 hours. Holy shit. Oh no, my phone died. Oh no, I left my cord in the kitchen. Oh, let me see. Let's look at Twitch Ow chat. Yes, Twitch Ow chat. That's what we're gonna call it. Twitch Ow chat. 10 years probation is harsh too. Yep. I saw a video of a guy throwing stuff at cops, and after they run him down, he's screaming, "I'm a child, I'm a child." That's funny. Damn it, Bobby, you're wasting the propane. Oh, God. That's too funny. Holy shit. We've been going almost 2.5 hours. Wow. $11:13. Oh, I'm gonna do I have one video. I think one more video in me. We have more than one video open still, but I'm not gonna be able to do combat tonight. How you would die on every planet. I want to do this one. Because this one is my nerdiness is kicking in for that video. And I really want to do it. So we're going to take a look at how you would die on every planet.
After landing on Pluto and taking a look around, the first thing you would notice is the cold.
No shit.
After landing on Pluto and taking a look around, the first thing you would notice is the cold. In fact, if you look carefully, you'll notice that all the liquid in your body has frozen completely.
You would be Iceman, literally.
There are two reasons that Pluto is so cold. Number one is that it's far from the sun. Crazy stuff. Number two, however, is because Pluto's atmosphere is made of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide.
Yep.
The atmosphere manages to conduct the cold straight to your body.
It's literally like standing on a giant ball of dry ice. That's what Pluto is. You're literally standing in an atmosphere of dry ice.
Think about it like this. If you're just standing there in the cold air, it's cold, sure, but you can tolerate it. But take one leap into a freezing cold pool, and all of a sudden, your teeth are chattering, your bones are rattling, and your lips are falling off.
Yep.
That's because water is a much better heat conductor than air is. Now swap out the pool with thousands of tons of nitrogen, methane, and CO2, and you've got a good idea of why taking one step onto Pluto without a superheated spacesuit would not be a bright idea.
Yeah, because it's, like I said, you're literally stepping into a giant dry ice bath. So your body would instantly just freeze solid.
Next up is Mars. Unlike Pluto, this planet is relatively close to the sun. So at least during the day, when the planet reaches temperatures of about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, you wouldn't immediately freeze to death. Unlike during the night, when the planet reaches temperatures of about negative 220 degrees.
Yeah, the temperature swings rather rapidly on Mars, kind of like my mood. Ha 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 ha.
During which you would absolutely freeze to death. For reference, the average temperature in a 4-door French door smart refrigerator with 4 types of ice, stainless steel, is about 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Just thought you should know that. But wait, what if it turns out that you're a special child, and you're completely resistant to extreme temperatures?
Radiation will get you. Because there's no magnetosphere to protect you from the sun's magnetic storms.
Wow, it must be very easy to survive on Mars now. Well, a couple issues with that. Number one, Mars does not have a magnetosphere, so the planet is constantly being slammed with a fuck ton of radiation. Every year, Mars is hit with 300 millisieverts of radiation, which is a lot. For reference, that's more radiation than is contained in a single banana. I know, right? And quick fun fact, that much radiation is not actually beneficial to your health. It would kill you almost immediately, and if it didn't, then you would definitely get cancer. Issue number 2 is that there's no oxygen. Maybe I could have brought this up earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, so 3 ways you could die on Mars. Freezing to death, no oxygen, and radiation poisoning.
If the cold and radiation didn't get you, then you would have max 15 seconds to live, due to the noticeable lack of anything to breathe. Death this way would be like drowning, but worse.
Yeah.
Because it's not just water you're breathing in, it's carbon dioxide. Probably one of the worst ways to go out. Yet, that's not all. The last insanely deadly part of life on Mars is the dust.
Uh-huh.
This planet is covered...
Could you imagine getting all that dust in your lungs? Oh, Jesus.
Insanely deadly part of life on Mars is the dust. This planet is covered in giant dust storms, whipping dust at you with intent to kill. If you could somehow breathe the air no problem, you wouldn't even want to without some sort of filter, because within seconds, your eyes, nose, and mouth would be filled with dust.
True.
You'd end up choking on it as your body is ripped to shreds.
And that's what would make, that's the biggest problem with any habitat on Mars is how do you keep the dust from clogging any of the air filters and the systems for recycling air within the habitats? How do we keep those unclogged?
Mercury time. Oh, also, if you made it to this point in the video, then subscribe. Appreciate it. Okay, this planet is similar to Mars. Actually, never mind. It's pretty much the complete opposite of Mars. First of all, it's the closest planet to the sun, besides the hypothetical planet that is forever locked in rotation completely opposite us behind the sun, so that we would never be able to see it, but that's a tale for another day. Due to its proximity to the sun, the heat is completely insane and brutally intense. On the bright side of Mercury, temperatures reach upwards of 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and on the cold side, it reaches negative 290 degrees or colder. So
that's crazy that even that close to the sun, that facing away from the sun makes the planet that cold. That boggles my mind.
Your options are pretty much either to be baked or freeze-dried. I'll take the latter. At 800 degrees Fahrenheit, all the liquid in your body would evaporate, turning you into a sun-dried tomato in a very short amount of time. Also, notice I said cold and hot side, not night and day.
Yep.
That's because Mercury rotates very slowly. One side is almost always in the dark and cold, while the other is insanely hot. This means that, hypothetically, you'd be able to find a spot right in the middle where it's not too hot or too cold. So if you could, what issues would you face at that point? Besides the obvious lack of oxygen, which would essentially lead to the same kind of death as dying in space, there are a couple other issues you may face. Namely in the form of giant plasma tornadoes.
Oh, yeah. The plasma storms from the sun.
And I'm not even going to try to explain those, just let your imagination run free. Also, Mercury does actually have a magnetosphere, so thankfully, you'll be protected from radiation. But the magnetosphere is a bit of a joke, since Mercury is so tiny, the protection is really just not great at all. So there's a good chance you'll be slightly deformed by the radiation.
You'll be a Mercury mutant! A dead Mercury mutant!
Earth. This planet is actually covered in a layer of oxygen, and it has protection from radiation. However, it does have a near 100% mortality rate, so I'd stay away if I were you. Uranus. That's right, you're not gonna get a protection from radiation if I were you. However, it does have a near 100% oxygen, and it has by the radiation. It's really just not great at all.
What did it say?
So there's a good chance you'll be slightly deformed by the radiation. Earth.
Yeah.
This planet is actually covered in a layer of oxygen, and it has
But it
protection
has
from
a
radiation.
100%.
However,
That's
it
right.
does have a near 100% mortality rate, so I'd stay away if I were you.
Well, considering how many extinction events there have been, technically, I would say, you know, he's not very wrong.
Uranus. That's right, you're not gonna get a single Uranus joke. We gotta stay serious around here. This planet is an absolute monster. For one, it's the coldest planet in the entire solar system.
Oh.
Somehow colder than Pluto, even though it's closer to the sun. So take all the deaths to freezing we talked about earlier and triple them. Another horrifying thing about Uranus is the fact that it's not even solid like earlier planets in the list. You might start on the outside, swimming on the surface, but you would immediately be sucked into the middle due to the extreme gravitational forces. At that point, you would be crushed to death due to the extreme pressure. If the pressure didn't kill you there, the insane heat would.
Yeah, because down in the cores of the gas giants, like the gas and the ice giants, the heat from the pressure is insane.
The center of the planet is 4,000 degrees Kelvin, which is the same temperature as the surface of some stars. Okay, but what if you were somehow suspended above the surface of the planet so the insane cold and pressure wouldn't immediately bring your life to an end? Well, another fun fact about Uranus, the wind on that planet is 900 kilometers per hour. And for my Americans in the audience, that's approximately 7.5 times faster than a bald eagle can fly.
I thought that Neptune was the planet with the stupidly fast wind. Maybe I'm wrong.
So anyone above the surface would just be chucked around and smashed into whatever debris may be in the area. Sounds fun.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
the atmosphere is made of hydrogen, helium, and methane. So, surprise, surprise, you won't be able to breathe. But honestly, that's the least of your worries, given the absurd amount of other things you'll have on your mind. Like, for example, X-rays. since Uranus will periodically be blasted by X-rays for whatever reason. Next up, we got Venus. Okay, the second you teleport to Venus, bam, you're crushed to death.
Yeah, just you're done.
Okay, the second you teleport to Venus, bam, you're crushed to death.
Yep. You're literally just smushed. Because the being on Venus is the same as being at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. That's the pressure of Venus. Everywhere on Venus.
Death. Interesting feature of Venus, even though it's smaller than Earth, standing on the surface of the planet is like being half a mile underwater on Earth. The reason for that is the thick atmosphere. The atmosphere is actually the main reason the planet's so deadly. It creates a whole host of problems for potential visitors, among these being acid rain and the greenhouse effect.
Yeah, you don't really want that acid rain falling on you. That's never a good thing. And you never really want the greenhouse effect to be as runaway as it is on Venus, because then you can't do anything with the planet.
Yup, the greenhouse effect. Same as the one on Earth, except for one teeny tiny difference. There is 154 times more carbon in the atmosphere on Venus than there is on Earth. Wait. 154? I meant 154,000.
That's crazy. 154,000 times more carbon dioxide on Venus than on Earth. Yeah, I think we're okay with the carbon dioxide problems right now. I don't think we're actually having carbon dioxide problems here because, you know, we actually have vegetation on this planet. Venus does not. Could you imagine that if there wasn't that much pressure, the trees that could be on Venus?
So, despite being the second furthest planet from the sun, Venus is actually the hottest. Like, by far. Literally, a single second on this planet would result in your body decomposing and your flesh sagging off your bones. Just like your mother. And of course, you can't forget the brutal landscapes covered in volcanoes and lava rivers. Also, I read that the volcanoes somehow cause lightning storms, so that's a
Yes! Because I've listened to a lot of the sciencey stuff on this. The particles from the volcanoes cause friction in the clouds with like the particles and the molecules in the clouds, and the friction buildup causes electrical sparks like static, and that causes the lightning on Venus. That's what causes the lightning storms.
A fun little fact, I guess. I'm definitely too scared to research it further. Venus is probably runner-up for planet with most ways to die. Besides our homeland, of course. It's charming like that. Next up, we got the planet famous for things such as being big and kind of brown, I guess. Jupiter. While Jupiter is very, very deadly, it's arguably the least creative of all the ways planets kill you.
Yeah, probably. Just sucks you in and smushes you.
Since it's so big, the only thing it's really got going for it is pressure. So as soon as you spawn in on the top layer of the planet, you would instantly be crushed with a force 1,000 times higher than the force on Earth. But let's say you survive that experience. You got strong bones. 1,000 times Earth just isn't quite enough to end you. Well, at that point, you're dragged to the very center of the planet, at a speed of 49 kilometers per second.
Jesus Christ. Because, you know, Jupiter is insane and has an insane type of amount of gravity to just pull you in and just eat you alive, apparently.
As you descend, the pressure builds. It would feel like you're being smashed through brick walls over and over and over. Eventually, you reach the center, at which point you will definitely be crushed under the force of 3 million kilograms of pressure.
Jesus.
Saturn, the planet famous for being second biggest, second coolest design, etc. This death is pretty much the same as Jupiter, but you do get to see brown, so there's that, I guess.
You do get to see brown.
And finally, we reach Neptune, which I think would lead to the most insane deaths of any other planet in the list. First of all, you can't breathe, so you're already choking to death on the atmosphere. But, okay, you know the drill. If the lack of oxygen didn't kill you, the wind would. The winds on this planet reach 2,000 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, Neptune has like the fastest winds in the solar system. 2,000 kilometers an hour is about 1,500 miles an hour, and that's how fast Neptune's winds go.
That's double what Uranus had. If you appear for a single second above the surface of the planet, you would immediately be shot around the planet at 2,000 kilometers per hour. An interesting feature of Neptune is that on the planet it rains diamonds.
Yep.
Which is cool, until you're being chucked around in what is essentially now a giant beautiful blender.
Giant beautiful blender. That is the funniest way I've ever heard that described. Holy fuck. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. A giant beautiful blender. Oh my god, that's too fucking funny. Oh god. The mercury is high. Rust in peace. That's funny. Oh my gosh, that's your blender's not that pretty. Holy shit. All right.
Well, it's 11:30. Are you gonna game for half an hour?
I may as well, yeah. Should I leave it on YouTube? Alright, let's do this. Do this. Huh? True. Alright guys, I'm gonna stop and restart the stream on Twitch. So, I'll be right back, okay?